Hi, it's Edie here, coming to you from the home office in San Antonio, Texas. I help stressed out people own their lives through developing strong, healthy practices in their daily living, sometimes called habits. We shape our lives through our daily habits. Today I'd like to talk to you about the spiritual part. You know, we are a mind, body, spirit. We're not just a body, we're not just a mind, and we're not just spiritual. It's all together. One of the cool things about this process, about deciding that we're going to take mastery in our lives and that we are going to shape our lives intentionally, is that no matter where we start, it will affect the rest. So if we start with our spirituality, it's going to help our physical well-being and it's going to help our mental health. If we start with our mental health, it's going to help our spiritual well-being and it's going to help our physical well-being. If we start with our physical well-being, it's going to help our mental health and our spirituality. It is very, very cool because it turns out we are whole. And we have this amazing ability to, as humans, to delay gratification. We have this ability to think about our actions and what the long term might be. Now, that's prefrontal cortex, and we can get into brain development at another time, but it's a maturity thing. Children are not as able to think through their actions. It's one of the things that we help them learn about, is thinking through their actions. What will happen if you do this? Now, sometimes they can get it pretty quick. If they touch a hot stove, they know what happens when they do this. But a lot of times our consequences are not that quick. And so it takes longer. We have to think more. So our spirituality is to me, it's one of the great starting places, because I believe our spirituality is so, so important. Having that right relationship with love, with that which is beyond, with holiness, because it helps me love myself, to take care of myself. It helps me love my neighbor, to love you, to want to care for you. And so my spirituality helps me in everything. Now, I've talked about the habit of 5 minutes of silence a day. And I'll probably talk about it again because it's one of my favorite starting places, because it's so simple and really not hard. But that doesn't work for everybody. It's not, everybody is different, everybody is different. So sometimes things just don't work for us. And so I want to give you some options, but I'm going to give you one today. I don't want to overwhelm you. And that's journaling. So journaling sounds like this big major thing. At least it did to me. That I'm going to have to write down everything I did and what I thought about it and all this stuff. But what I want to invite you to journal in a specific way, because I want your first habit to be fewer than 5 minutes, something that you can tag to something else and that you can do every day. To me, journaling is most important when we pay attention to what went right in our lives and what didn't go right. And so what I would like to invite you to do, I'll encourage you to do, is to get a journal or just some blank paper. Just get a little spiral notebook. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't have to have a leather-bound journal or special paper, just paper. And what I did when I started was I kept it on my pillow. After I made my bed, I would put it on my pillow so that I could not go to sleep unless I journaled. And I want you to do this. I want you to write down the best thing that happened to you that day. The best thing that you experienced in that day. Now, it might be that the best thing you experienced all day is that you didn't spill your coffee. So be it, because not every day is the same. But I also want you to take note of the biggest challenge that you faced, the thing that was hardest for you that day. Just write down a sentence or two about each. every day. And over time, when you get curious about where you've been, you go back and look through it and read through it and re-delight in the things that went right, and realize that the things that went wrong or less than right didn't kill you, and that you were able to overcome them, and that you have more power in your life than you realize. I think one of the things that happens to us is our lives feel like they're out of control. Especially now in COVID time, it feels like we're kind of out of control, but we're not. We're not. We control the most important part of our well-being, which is our attitude. Our relationships with each other, our relationship with that which is beyond, our relationships with ourselves. That's where life is. I've come to believe that love is the only thing that truly matters. This is one way to love yourself enough to pay attention to what's going wrong and what's going right in your life. Try it for a while. The thing with all these habits, the little practices that I teach is, it's your program, it's your life. But I would invite you to experiment with it for at least 3 weeks. Find an accountability partner and keep track. 3 weeks and see what difference it makes in your life. I think you'll be surprised when you commit to yourself enough to do this. Have an amazing day. I appreciate you so much. And if this is of value to you, I invite you to like and share, because that's what good people do on social media. We like and we share because we want our friends to be exposed to good things too. Thank you so much.